Good morning, Community for Exceptional Minds. Today is Monday, April 20th, and I'm so happy that you're joining us today. We have a very, very special friend. My dear friend Lisa is going to share with us about friendship, being a mentor. She's also going to share a very, very important buzzword that we're hearing a lot right now, which is the word essential. So tune in so that you can really hear from Lisa's heart, and we also do provide a very special shout out for the Polly Bear Pals. So tune in for that. Anyone from the Bear Pals joining us, thank you and welcome. Let's start with our quote from The World According to Mr. Rogers. If you're joining us, we're on page 70. There's something unique about being a member of a family that really needs you in order to function well. One of the deepest longings a person can have is to feel needed and essential. But first, my students know, creating the symbolic gesture that right now I am here for you, I am checking in because I love you. We make the symbolic gesture of putting on heels, so that here's my heels for today, and we're going to put on the scarf. So in just a minute, you're going to tune in with my dear friend Lisa and anyone else from Polly joining us. Welcome and thank you for being in our community. We want to build a community and connectedness around you because we love you. Okay, Community for Exceptional Minds, thank you so much for joining us today. Just a reminder, who is this channel for? This channel is for anyone who just, whatever you're going through during this season of coronavirus, COVID-19, we are not going to let this season of quarantine take away the value of human connectedness, the value of human connection that we as teachers, we as family members, we as siblings, human beings need connectedness. And we just want to really join in and just to build a community around you and just to communicate that we love you and we believe in you. And we're going to say that until you believe in yourself. So I have a very, very, very special guest with me today. I have claimed Lisa as my lifelong mentor. I have claimed her as just an incredible best friend. So I really want to talk about the power of friendship. I want to talk about the power of having a mentor. And a mentor is someone that you can look to that believes in you, that communicates why they believe in you, and that just invests time and advice and wisdom so that you can take whatever version of yourself you are and that you can be the best version of yourself with that extra little support, that extra little help. So Lisa, if you can say hello to everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, just wanted to know, we wanted to know what you would like to share with us today.
Yeah, I was thinking about it for a while, and it kind of all came together just recently. There is a word that you've been hearing a lot lately. It's essential workers. Some of our essential workers are grocery store workers, nurses, doctors, bus drivers, the people who pick up our trash. What are some other ones, Teresa?
Electricians are essential right
Electricians.
now.
Yeah, but essential is kind of a big word. So if you think about essential, things in my life that I think are essential, I need water every day. That's essential. I need food every day. That's essential. A lot of people think that their phone is essential. Right now, if you want to learn, your computer or your phone is essential. What are some things that are essential to you, Teresa?
I have so much that I'm learning in this season. I would say my family, the health and well-being of my family is essential, but something that I'm learning with balancing working from home. I want to take care of my students and I also want to take care of my family. I get overextended very easily. And I think what I'm learning is essential is something I've always thought of as being selfish. Something that's essential that I'm learning is I have to take care of myself. I need to check in with myself to ask if I'm drinking enough water, to ask if I'm eating healthy, to ask if I need to take a mental break from my work responsibilities and just hug my son. I think that's something that's very challenging for me because I feel more comfortable taking care of other people, whether it's my students or my family, but I don't feel comfortable taking care of myself. And I think if I don't take care of myself, then I am not able to really provide the best value with how I want to take care of others. So that's something I'm just barely learning is it is essential to check in with myself to ask how am I feeling today? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling sad? And to just work through that as well as, eating and drinking and all the other things. So taking
Yeah,
care of myself is a very new realization that that is essential.
it is essential. I think it's also, I found that it's essential to take care of myself, to get outside.
Mm,
If the sun pops out, I go sit outside. I just stop what I'm doing and I sit in the sun because it feels essential. It warms me up. It
mhm,
fills me up. I know I need it to stay healthy. Those are essential. But the thing that I was thinking about mostly is that our students, the people, and our students are essential people. Sometimes people try to
mm,
treat us like we're not essential, that we're not important, but
mm.
we are essential. You're very essential. I I had a student when I taught back in elementary school. I teach at a high school now, Poly High School. And one of my students, I was having a very bad day. I'm sure you've had them where you're about to cry at any moment and you're trying to stay happy and you're trying to stay focused on what you're doing. And this student didn't talk very much. He didn't have very many words, but I knew he cared about me. And he walked up to me, he had stopped and he looked at me and he said, Murtaugh, you're pretty, right? Which is
Oh,
something, it's kind of an outside thing that I didn't know I needed to hear. And then he said, Murtaugh, and then he handed me, he bent down on the ground and picked just something random up and gave it to me like a present. It was a paper clip or something. But he said, like, here's a present. And then he goes, Murtaugh, I'll help you. I'm going to help you. And I realized those were things I needed. I needed gifts from people. I needed other people to give me things. I needed to say somebody that even that I looked pretty. That was important to me at the time. And that somebody was going to help me. And just saying that made my whole day better. And even now when I'm having a hard time, I remember him and I remember how he told me those things. Um, Things that you can do that are essential. You can smile at people. Teresa, don't you miss your students who smile at you and
so
hug you?
much. So much. I've actually been looking through photos of my students
Mhm.
just to have that in my life because I miss it so much.
Yeah, I really miss it. I miss my students who, when I open the door in the morning, they say, Myrtle! And they act like they haven't seen me in 20 years and they just saw me yesterday, but I feel important to them. So you are essential, like a part of the body. Some people think that your toes are not very important because they're small, but if you lose your big toe, you can't really stand up.
Mhm.
If you, on the inside of your ear, there's tiny, tiny little bones inside. That's what helps you to hear. And if you miss one of those bones, you can't hear. So you are as important as the tiny bone or your eyeball or your teeth to chop up your food. You're essential. All of you are.
Mm,
Something else that's essential is to have connection. And I know that's what this channel is about. This
mm,
channel is about community and coming together. This is a word that I learned in sign language doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Um, this is let's see, it's justice. It's coming
okay.
together,
I
justice.
love that.
As I think
Justice.
that's what it is. Those of you who know ASL, if you can correct me, correct me. It goes liberty and justice. And this is America. You put it together and you go around because everybody comes together. We need you.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, so this idea of us coming together, we need each other. We need you. We're a community. And one of the things that um, Teresa does at her school, and a lot of schools do, is we have clubs to help you have friends. So at Poly, our club is called Bear Pals. And at lunch, one of the things we do that's consistent is on Fridays at lunch, Everyone comes toward our classroom. We have an outside area with picnic tables. We blast the music. Sometimes there's snacks. Sometimes there's games. We eat lunch together and we just be together. Sometimes we play just dance. Sometimes we just sit next to each other. And it's one of our favorite things is Fridays. And then out of that, our clubs get together and we have a big dance, which we didn't get to have this year. Aren't you sad about us missing our dance?
So sad.
So sad.
So
And
heartbroken.
that's part of our community that we need to have together. So we have dances on the outside. We have buddies in Bear Pals where a student from my class it has a buddy from the rest of the school or a couple buddies, and they call each other and they talk to each other, and sometimes they'll meet for ice cream or a movie, or maybe they'll go get dinner with their families. Maybe they go to each other's birthdays parties. They have lots of time. They have time together, and the more time you have together, the more that connection grows together. I'm making lots of hand motions today. We got the open, we got the connection.
Love
It's all
it.
together. I'm looking at my notes trying to make sure I've covered everything.
I do have to give a quick shout out for, as a fellow high school teacher within, I think is the best district in the world.
Yes, I think so too.
A fellow high school teacher for special education, your Bear Pals is famous throughout the district. I mean, we always say that your high school is like the Mecca, with just, I mean, when we have our Special Olympics trainings, when we have our holiday dance, you have your Bear Pals that, I mean, they flood the gymnasium where we're at, and they're just so wonderful for all of the students. They're dancing with our students, and you even have some of your students check in with other schools. Do you have any of your students who need some of our Bear Pals to dance with? And there you go. There's 3 of your Bear Pals that are just spreading so much joy for students that they've never met before. So
that's a big compliment. Thank you.
Oh, you have provided so many smiles. Bear Pals, you have provided just so much warmth. You have created lasting, lifelong friendships with my students. And I, as a teacher, speaking to Lisa's students, speaking to the students at Poly High School, speaking to the Bear Pals, you have made a lasting impression on me as a teacher and on my students. So thank you for that.
Thank you. When you started talking about that, it started processing in my mind. What do we do for that? And I realized the thing that we do is we just keep inviting. We keep inviting people. So when we have the basketball event, we invite the basketball team. When we have the volleyball event, we invite the volleyball team. And some people we invite wide, and there's maybe not as many people, not everybody stays committed, but we invite wide so that we can all come together and more connections can be made. I think that's the thing that's been helpful, is that inviting wide like that. But really the thing that we love is, like you said, the lasting connections, and that takes individual effort on the part of the individual. That takes picking up that phone and making that phone call, sometimes to a parent, which I know for a high school student is really difficult to do. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It takes courage to call someone you don't know and start a conversation that you don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how many words are going to happen or what kind of words are going to happen. It just takes a lot of courage. And right now during quarantine, we don't get those easy ways to get together. There's not a lunchtime where we just say, hey, everybody come. So the invitation is going to have to change right now. And the invitation can be to a FaceTime or a Google Meets in a classroom. Or I know there's people who've been having Netflix parties. So they pull up the Google Meet and then they get a Netflix show and they click play at the same time. So they sit in different places.
Wow.
And they watch it at the same time, which usually they're about a second off. So I think could be annoying, but you don't have to. But then you can make comments about the movie, or I just think that would be a really fun kind of thing to organize. Haven't done it yet, but now that I'm brainstorming.
Incredible. That's
Yeah, I
incredible.
think,
I think
yeah,
we just need to get creative. You know, we can still FaceTime someone. We can text someone if they come into our frame of thought. We can, call, we can, so many different ways to connect. We can even write a letter as long as, we wash our hands really, really well before you touch the paper and the pencil.
yeah,
But we have so many ways that we can stay connected, but it does take that creativity because I think right now, um, a lot of us feel like we need to settle for this season of quarantine. We just don't have the connection that we used to. But I challenge us, we do have the connection that we always have had, but we need to be creative to find the evidence. A phone call, a FaceTime call, Google Meets, Google Hangout. We need to be creative to find the evidence that that connection is still there.
I like that evidence piece because otherwise we forget that people love us
Yes,
and care
yes,
about us, and we love you. We love
we
you
do.
so
We do.
much, so much.
I do. And I
Yeah.
think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to figure out a way right after this video. I'm going to figure out a way that I can try to connect the kind of the mission statement, the value of lunch buddies, which if we're talking about, friendships and being a mentor to each other, I think the way that lunch buddies or the way that the Best Buddies International
Yes.
has served for me as a club advisor for what to aspire to, what to really allow me to stay grounded in my vision. It's just an amazing 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm going to try to connect to that just so that
Good.
our heart that Lisa and I share, our heart that we want to be able to provide for our students. We have this amazing model for this vision. So if we can maybe create that connectedness together, we would like to let you know a little bit of the why behind all of these amazing ideas that, look different at my high school campus. They look different at the famous Poly High School with your bear pals. But it is about community and connectedness. It is about the essential need, what I'm going to communicate, what I communicated earlier for what is essential to me, my family, my students, myself. What we have to really understand is that human beings need connectedness. That is essential. But again, we have to really challenge ourselves with what does that look like in this season of quarantine. So I love everything that you have been able to share. I love your heart for the students. Anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
Um, Teresa Chami is an incredible teacher. She is awesome. She is gifted, and she has so much love to share, and knows how to share it well. So I, I don't know why I needed to say that, but I did.
Well, I
Thank you
just
so
feel
much for
like
making the channel.
Oh, thank you. I really think that we just, again, I think that we really, really work in like the best district in the whole world. And I think that the way our district invests in our teachers and just everyone from, I wouldn't say the top to the bottom, from everyone from every section within our district, it really is a family. And
Yeah.
I think, if we can just have a way that we can feel that sense of family, whether it's teachers and students together, one school to another. I love that we were able to really come together today to really feel that value of that connection. So thank you so much, Lisa. We love you so much. And thank you for your message of love to your students and anyone else joining. We do have an autism awareness book club that we're doing a virtual book club. So make sure to tune in for our Autism Awareness Book Club and just understand the value of being uniquely human. So thank you again. We love you, and we will see you hopefully next time.
Bye.
Again, I just want to thank Lisa for joining us in this channel. I want to thank the Poly Bear Pals for setting such an incredible example of love over labels. You do that so well. thank you for the example and the light and the joy that you share with so many of my students. For my students still joining, remember that today's episode is worth a total of 75 cents. And we will go through how much money we've earned through the week together. We count our money every Thursday. But before we part, there's one more message that I would love to be able to share from Best Buddies International.
Okay, here we go.
Everybody needs somebody.
A friend.
Somebody who knows.
What makes you laugh?
How you feel about football?
Movies.
Singing.
Life.
Somebody who always has your back.
A real friend.
A best buddy.
But sometimes it can be hard for people
with intellectual and developmental disabilities
to make friends.
That's why we started Best Buddies.
A network of more than 70,000 friends
Across America.
And around the world.
Best Buddies matches people like me.
Like me. Like me.
with people like me.
like me,
Like me.
To create one-on-one friendships that foster understanding
break down barriers,
and help us see how.
Beautiful.
Smart.
Funny.
And amazing.
We all are.
And we can use your help.
Go to bestbuddies.org and see how you can get involved.
Because everybody needs a best buddy.
including me.
Me.
Me. You.
bestbuddies.org. Everybody needs a best buddy to see how beautiful, smart, funny, and amazing we all are.